Picture yourself in first-century Palestine, amidst a crowd gathered on a hillside. The air is thick with anticipation and expectancy. People from all walks of life have come together, drawn by the magnetic charisma of a man named Jesus of Nazareth. This man, who has already begun to make waves with his radical teachings and miraculous healings, is about to deliver one of his most pivotal sermons. The Sermon on the Mount, as it will become known, is a cornerstone of Jesus's teachings, a defining moment in his ministry. The crowd, buzzing with anticipation, has no idea they are about to hear a message that will echo through the centuries. It's a message that will challenge their beliefs, their attitudes, and their very way of life. As the murmurs die down and a hush falls over the crowd, Jesus steps forward. As Jesus begins to speak, the crowd leans in, eager to hear his words. Jesus opens his sermon with a series of blessings, known as the Beatitudes. Each one starts with "Blessed are," yet the groups he blesses might not be who we'd typically think of as blessed. The poor in spirit, those who mourn, the meek, those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, the merciful, the pure in heart, the peacemakers, those who are persecuted. Jesus calls all these groups blessed. This is radical. It's a subversion of the world's values, highlighting the divine importance of humility, empathy, and peace. The Beatitudes aren't about material wealth or societal status. Instead, they're about the state of one's heart, the depth of one's mercy, and the commitment to making peace. This isn't a message of prosperity, but of spiritual richness and moral courage. The Beatitudes set the tone for the rest of the sermon, challenging common perceptions of blessedness. Following the Beatitudes, Jesus delves into a series of ethical teachings. He touches on topics that resonate with fundamental human experiences and emotions, such as anger, lust, divorce, and even our attitudes towards our enemies. Jesus' teachings on anger, for instance, go beyond simply avoiding acts of violence. He encourages his listeners to reconcile with those they are at odds with and to settle disputes quickly, emphasizing the importance of harmony in our relationships. When it comes to lust and divorce, Jesus again pushes his listeners to look past the literal interpretation of the law. He suggests that even looking at another with lustful intent is akin to committing adultery, and that divorce should not be taken lightly. Perhaps most challenging of all, Jesus calls his followers to love their enemies and pray for those who persecute them. This radical idea flips the conventional wisdom of an eye for an eye on its head, promoting love and forgiveness over retaliation. Throughout these teachings, a common theme emerges: the principle of going beyond the letter of the law to the spirit of the law. It's not just about adhering to rules, it's about cultivating a deep internal righteousness, a heart that mirrors the morals and values these laws aim to promote. These teachings challenge listeners to cultivate a deep internal righteousness. Jesus then turns his attention to the importance of sincerity in religious practices. He spoke of prayer, fasting, and almsgiving, not as mere rituals, but as expressions of genuine faith. He cautioned against the hypocrisy of performing these acts for the admiration of others, stressing that the intention behind our actions carries greater weight than the actions themselves. In essence, it's the heart that matters, not just the outward show. In these teachings, Jesus underscores the value of authentic spirituality. As we reflect on the Sermon on the Mount, several key themes emerge. A powerful moment in biblical history, this sermon is often considered the cornerstone of Christian ethics. The Beatitudes, as they are known, present a radical view of blessings, where the meek, the merciful, and those who thirst for righteousness are exalted. The sermon also introduces a call to internal righteousness. It doesn't merely address the outward actions, but delves deep into the heart of the matter, our motives and intentions. It teaches us that it's not enough to follow the rules. We must also cultivate a pure heart and a right spirit. Then, the importance of sincere spirituality is emphasized. The sermon warns against performative piety, urging us to seek a genuine relationship with the divine, to pray and to give not for the praise of others, but for the love of God. Through the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus presents a profound and challenging vision of what it means to live a blessed life.